Hi, I'm Liz Lipski, the author of Digestive Wellness for Children, and the Director of Doctoral Studies at Hawthorne University. Today, my topic is really about the systemic consequences of digestive imbalances. You know, most of the time we don't even really think about what we eat because we feel pretty good. So unless we're gassy or bloated or have heartburn, we just don't really give much thought to our digestive system at all. However, a lot of us have small, more subtle imbalances that really keep us from feeling as well as we can. Honestly, we're stressed out. We're pushing ourselves really hard every day. Some of us are taking medications, or maybe you're on birth control pills or hormone replacement therapy that change your gut ecology. And all of us are exposed to toxic substances every single day. Probably you say, not me, I eat organic foods and I do everything just right. However, you'd be surprised to know what's in that toothpaste, the shampoo, the dish soap that you use, the laundry detergents, even your makeup, for those of us women who wear makeup. So toxins can be ever present, and they can affect our gut health and allow us to actually have small irritations. Also, some people have candidiasis, or maybe they have parasites or bacterial infection in the digestive tract that also makes our stomach and our intestines not work as well as they should. And finally, we kind of don't eat as well as we should, and some of us drink a lot more alcohol than we really ought to. The average person eats over half of their calories every day in foods that aren't that nutritious. Fast foods, sugar, white flour products, white rice, processed foods, things that have been really stripped. So all of this can radically affect the normal balance of our gut ecology. I like to think of our digestive system almost like the rainforest. And if you come in and you chop down a big chunk of the forest, and then you plant genetically engineered soybeans, or you raise cattle on that land, it's just not the same as it was when it was really a rainforest. And we're doing that every day to our guts. So what are some of the systemic consequences of when this doesn't work well? Well, first of all, we don't feel that great. We might feel tired. We might feel like we have brain fog, or that our body, we just can't think as well or have as much clarity, or we can't concentrate as well. Some people find that their sleep is disturbed. I find often people have joint issues. They feel achy all over, either in their muscles or their joints. The most effective tool that I have as a clinical nutritionist in my toolbox is something called the Elimination Diet. And I use this with many of my clients when they have a myriad of health concerns and health issues and symptoms. They're just not feeling the way they'd love to feel. Great, vibrant, and energetic and happy every single day. So what I do is I make a deal with my clients and I put them on this elimination diet. And what it looks like basically is you can eat as much fruit as you'd like, as many vegetables as you'd like, as much brown rice as you'd like, as much quinoa, which is a grain maybe you've never even heard of before, but it's very hypoallergenic, as much buckwheat as you can eat. And again, there's two types of buckwheat. There's a roasted buckwheat that has kind of a nutty flavor, and then there's also a buckwheat that's unroasted that tastes more like barley or rice. And then I also allow as much chicken and fish and poultry and turkey as you'd like to eat, and some oils like olive oil, maybe some coconut oil, and then salt, pepper, herbs, and spices. So it's not like you can't eat anything. You could go to a salad bar and have a nice big salad bar with a piece of fish with that, or you could go out to eat and eat maybe Chinese food, some stir-fried vegetables with some chicken and some rice. And also, you could just go out to eat and have a baked potato, some steamed vegetables, a big salad, and a piece of chicken or fish. So it's not like you can't eat anything, but it's really clean. And the foods that I want you to avoid are dairy products, all grains except for rice, buckwheat, and quinoa. So it's important to avoid wheat, oats, rye, barley. Also, no soy on this, which means that you have to read every single label because soy and corn also are in just about everything. So you need to look on labels for soy protein isolates, monosodium glutamate, preservatives, additives, coloring, corn syrup. All that is not on this diet. Even if you go to a restaurant, you want to make sure that they prepare your foods very plainly with just salt, pepper, herbs and spices, and a little bits of oil. And make sure those oils aren't corn oil or cottonseed oil or soy oil. So one of the things that people notice when they eat this elimination diet is that they start feeling really great. Most of my clients will do this for 2 to 3 weeks, and what I've seen is resurgence of energy, people's bowels move better, people don't have gastric reflux, people find that their irritable bowel syndrome symptoms seem to have dissipated, people find that that gloppy stuff that you can get in your throat, that kind of disappears. People's runny noses often resolve. Sinus congestion can feel better. People sleep better and their energy is great. I have one client who said after about 3 months on a clean diet, he said to me, boy, not only did I lose a lot of weight and I feel 1,000,000 times healthier, but I never thought I'd feel so much younger. And I think for those of us who are in our middle age, younger sounds pretty good. With that, I'd also like to talk a little bit about how you reintroduce foods. Let's say that you've been feeling fabulous on this elimination diet. What I'd like you to do is then carefully and slowly add one food back into your diet at a time. Typically, I'll tell my clients to add the one food that they miss the most. So if it was bread that you missed the most, or sugar that you missed the most, or having a glass of beer or wine that you missed the most, that would be the best thing to add back in and see how you feel. What happens is that often you find that the foods that you add back in, you don't actually feel that great. Or maybe you can't really tell. If you know that a food's making you feel worse, then eliminate it again. If you can't quite tell, eliminate it again for a few days and then add back in 4 or 5 days later and see how you feel. What you'll find is that most foods make you feel pretty good and you don't notice any kind of negative change. But there are some foods that you'll find that it makes all of your old symptoms come back. And those foods you want to keep out of your diet for 3 to 6 months so that your gut can heal, because every time you eat them, it irritates your digestive system again. Also, you might find that using supplements like glutamine or probiotics can help heal your gut mucosa really well. There are also combination products that are out on the market that are designed for helping heal irritated gut lining. You might also think about using teas like licorice root tea and slippery elm tea that are very soothing, or fenugreek tea that are very soothing to the gut lining. So this is something that is my key tool, is an elimination diet, which not only helps your digestive system get a rest, but it also can help all of the systemic consequences of an imbalanced digestive system. So with that, I hope this has been useful to you. If you'd like more information about this, you can certainly find a lot more in my books, Digestive Wellness and Digestive Wellness for Children. And until I see you again, be well.